Et ouais, les amis, donc je vous fais juste cette petite aparté au début pour vous expliquer ce qu'est cette vidéo. En gros, pour vous expliquer, c'est une conversation que j'ai eue avec mon ami Tim, qui est américain. Et donc la conversation est en anglais. Donc c'est une conversation de environ 10-15 minutes sur les publicités, sur les créatives. Et j'ai mis des sous-titres en français. Donc si vous parlez pas anglais, vous pouvez suivre quand même avec les sous-titres français qui sont normalement nickel. Si vous parlez anglais, tant mieux, comme ça vous n'avez pas besoin de regarder la vidéo. La caméra est que sur moi, voilà, on voit même pas Tim, on l'entend, mais on ne le voit pas. J'ai récupéré cette partie et je me suis dit que ça pourrait être honnêtement très intéressant si vous êtes coach, formateur, ou que vous faites de la publicité en général. Voilà, il y a quand même pas mal de choses très intéressantes que je dis sur comment faire des bonnes créatives qui scale. Donc je pense que ça vous intéresse. Et donc voilà, profitez bien de la vidéo.
Dude,
Allez,
we
ciao.
launched our ads 2-3 weeks ago, and one of the things that my COO, he handles like our operations and stuff, was just concerned about is Meta's. It seems like is very unstable, especially with all the AI stuff happening nowadays. And I think that for coaches like me and other coaches in similar or different niches, consultants, we're very scared of all the changes and stuff. What does this mean about the space of ad creatives, about actually paid traffic acquisition now that it seems like Meta's messing with stuff and it's not the same as it was even a year ago?
I think I'm gonna answer in English and put like French subtitles, so we could have like proper conversation. So
I think that's a great idea, actually.
yeah. So last, I think it was July, so almost a year now, Meta pushed this new update called Andromeda, and a lot of people, it kind of changed a lot of things for a lot of people, because there might had like campaign running for like a couple of times already, and everything kind of collapsed for them, and they didn't really understand why. So Andromeda, what changed with Andromeda is that the kind of wall barrier in between of organic and ads is not there anymore, which means that what is organic could also, in a sense, work on ads, and what is ads should and could work on organic, which means that what Meta wants to do with this Andromeda updates is making the experience of their users even better than before, right? And for that, they want to be even more personalized than it was before. I'm sure you've seen, when you're scrolling on like Reels, you have a very specific algo, right? We're saying like, oh, my algo is like pushing me this kind of Reels because at some point you've like it or whatever.
My algo's clean.
Your algo is
It's just fitness and dogs.
just fitness and dogs and cars.
No political commentary about a specific group of people. What?
No, absolutely not. So yeah, and the ads, the objective, the goal of the ads is to kind of blend into this algo, right? That's what they want. They want you to make content that doesn't look like ad. That's why like we've seen this so much like podcast ad in a sense, that works so well because there is so much organic content that looks like that is podcast. And if you can make an ad looking like an organic piece of content, and people, they're not going to know in like the first 3, 5, 10 seconds that it's an ad, they're gonna stick around. And their wall is, their protection, their barrier to like, I don't want to be sold, is gonna just fly around, fly out. I don't know how to say that perfectly, but you get it. And then the moment they're gonna be like, oh, that's an ad, they're just gonna be sold already. So that's the main change. And the second change is now Meta wants you to work with the conversion funnel, right? So that's the idea of there's like, to make it very simple, there is the conversions ads and prospecting ads. So the prospecting ads, they exist to kind of talk to like a lot of people at the same time, kind of like the top of funnel, right? And they're here to make people just discover you, discover your universe, your world, what you're saying, your different perspective of anything you're selling. So if you're like in sale, you want them to think in a different way about sales, right? Maybe they're stuck on like, I need the best script in the world, and I've tried those 10 different scripts before and it never worked.
Yeah.
And you would say something along the line of like, script doesn't matter. And you're not gonna, explode and become the like very good in sales if you keep like following a script. That's a change of perspective, right?
Okay. Makes sense.
But that won't necessarily make the sale right away. Or they won't like click on your ad right away. But they've seen your face and they've got this idea, and now they also know that you're selling something.
Okay.
And then you're gonna have like more converting ads. They're gonna be like more bottom of funnel, and they're gonna be here to just close the people on the thing. So they could be like direct offer ads, kind of the type of ads we would make back in the days, like 5-6 years ago when I started. Like, hey, I'm gonna invite you to my webinar or whatever the fuck you're selling. And those will be presented to people who've already seen your top of funnel content.
Okay. Makes sense.
And so you want to structure your ad account with like the top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel ads.
Massive. Do you think that ads are still? This question's kind of obvious, but I want to know your like a further opinion on it. Do you think that ads are still a powerful way to scale now, or do you think that we're in like a dip and they're going to go back up? Meaning versus organic. Like, how do you feel?
Ads as always exist. Ad is just a mean to the end, right? As business strategy, you just want acquisition. You just want eyeballs on your offer, right? And you can do it by thousands of different ways. Ads is just one of them.
Okay.
And meta ads is just one very, very small portion of that. There is thousands of companies making tens of hundreds of millions of dollars, even more, that are not running ads on Meta. Because it's just one way to do it. Ads is just like basically paying for traffic from someone who has this traffic. So there is traffic owners, they have traffic. Meta is one of them. Instagram has a lot of traffic. But there is thousands of other apps.
What are some of those others?
Yeah, there is like
TikTok
also
YouTube,
has traffic.
Google Ads, yeah.
All of that. But there is also people who are, they have blogs, for example. They're doing SEO and they have like huge traffic base.
Okay.
You
Podcasts.
Podcasts.
I see what you mean.
Right? So there is traffic everywhere. You can buy it somehow, or you can also use it organic. But my point is, this is just a business strategy. That's why it's so important to know your math. You want to know how much can you pay to acquire clients. And then you're going to make your decisions based on that, right? So if you can pay $1,000 to acquire one client and to be still profitable, then you should do ads.
Yep.
If you cannot, if you are very strict on budget, then just go free. But at the end of the day, it's like just you need to look at your marketing in a blended way, which means that you should use organic to lower your cost and use ad to scale harder and faster.
Okay. Massive. What do you think is the best creative model? Meaning, because I see so many different kinds of creative. So specifically for a coaching business, someone running like info product, let's say fitness coaching, or like my industry, sales coaching, or someone who's a copywriting coach, whatever it would be. What do you think is the best creative style? Is it like a sitting talking head, like podcast? Is it vlog style? Guy driving maybe? What is that?
So it's circle back to what I said earlier, which is your ads should look like piece of content. So it always starts with your avatar. Who's your clients, right? And then you need to think about it. Are they younger people? Are they older people? And then you need to think about what the fuck is their algo looking like, which means what type of piece of content they have on the algo, right? If they're young, they probably have a lot of podcasts. They probably have a lot of people, having like very nice backgrounds, inspirational type of content, all of that, right? If they're older, they probably have a more of like educational content, maybe like less high aesthetic content, because older people tend on social media to have something more casual, all of that. So you just want your ads to look like the algo of your clients. So
Kind of like a
again,
Trojan horse effect.
exactly.
love
So
that.
it just always blend into their, and that gives them an amazing buying experience, because they never felt that they were sold to,
Yeah.
right? Sold to. They just felt that, oh, I keep seeing you in my algo. That's it.
And then what do you think is the best way to get inspiration for creatives? I think that's difficult too. I struggle with that.
Yeah, so there is different way of doing that. First, you should have a swipe file for sure. Swipe file is like you should get a lot of inspiration from everywhere, right? So I love print ads back in the days. It's amazing to me. They had like so many amazing ideas.
Buy this miracle tonic.
Bro, that was that.
Buy this snake oil tonic.
But can you imagine they had one page to make you buy whatever the fuck they were selling, and that's it. And then if you wanted to buy, you had to fucking write all of your informations to go to the post, and to post that. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And so they had to be so good on with their words to sell you, right? And even crazier, the direct mail ads. Those they were paying like 50 cents to send those mails, which is crazy high. So
What were the things they were selling in this mail?
bro, they were selling everything. A lot of e-com, but they were selling everything. Literally everything, bro. Like that could be like memory hands programs. That could be like some gadget. That could be everything. And yeah, so you should have those kind of stuff in your swipe file to get inspiration, but also music. Don't the best ideas never come from studying other marketing, from other marketing people. You want to study like music, cinema, theater, like all of those industries that are not marketing led, and you want to see like politicians, all of that. Those are crazy inspiration.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're not in the industry of like internet marketing and all of that shit, who everyone is copying each other. So if you want to stand out, you need to stand out by just getting what other industries are already doing and putting it into
Massive.
your
Where
content.
did you learn this? Because I've known you. We've been friends for a while, and you're one of the kind of sharpest guys I know when it comes to marketing, when it comes to understanding ads, creatives, and you've also been responsible for like millions and millions of dollars in cash collected, revenue generated across different offers. What was your entry point or like start when it comes to like mentorship or learning or educating yourself in this to really be so talented at and good at it?
Well, first, thanks. Thank you.
Well, those weren't compliments. They were just objective facts.
They're very objective and absolutely true.
They were actually objective facts.
They are actually true, but
You're welcome.
it's
Where was your entry point? Like, was it mentorship? Did you get some course? Like, what triggered all this?
I've spent so much money into coaches and courses. I've always had this mindset that you need to pay to go fast. So I pay so much. I just pay so much, and sometimes I don't even use it. Like 2 weeks ago, I still pay like 3K. I went to one call and I stopped. But I'm okay. I'm never gonna ask for any refunds or anything, because I know that just paying is already worse.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In a sense that it can sometimes just paying like a program can make me go a bit harder on this one stuff. And the program that I paid was like content creation.
Yeah.
And I know since I paid it, I've been doing a bit more than before on content creation. So I didn't really use the program, but I paid and my business is doing more.
Yeah.
In terms of like what I pay for, right?
Massive.
So yeah, to answer the question a bit more, I started like watching like business, online business and stuff when I was 16, so 8 years ago. And when I turned 18, I launched my business, and like 6 months after, I was already paying my first coaching, and I just never stopped.
Incredible. It's a game of leapfrogging in terms of how you invest, and then as you grow, you invest in different ways. I tell people this, like you're going to continue to invest in yourself. It doesn't really end. It's just what you invest in changes, I guess.
Yeah.